Hey everybody, it's Mike with Rebound Athletic Repair again, and we've got a fun project here on the bench. The client wants me to do two things. First, they want to change the perimeter lacing on this Optic 9.0 from black to red, and they also want to remove the black skate lace and just add red regular lacing in there. So that's a pretty straightforward project. There's tons of videos out there on how to relace a catch glove pocket, and I can link one of those to the description, so that won't be a big deal. But the other thing the client wants me to do is to help make the glove close more easily, and it's a question I get all the time. So it took me a little bit of time to figure out kind of how the catch glove works in a way that I can modify it. Watched a lot of videos and kind of just did a little experimenting on my own, so I thought I'd show you how I'm going to do that so it can save you some of the experimenting. And it's actually not too hard to do. Is if you can relace the perimeter of the glove, you can make this modification to your own glove to help it close more easily. So let's do the perimeter relace first, and I just want to show you a few tips to help make sure that that goes smoothly. And the first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to take a bunch of pictures on the glove so that you know where the lacing starts, where it ends, where the T-web gets inserted into the glove, and where the base of the T gets attached to the glove as well. Those are all really important. So on these one-piece gloves, the lacing usually starts right here. And you'll notice on the Bryans here, the knot is buried. I'm guessing it's buried on this side. It kind of wraps around, goes up and through. So what I'd like to do is I like to take a picture of that spot right there. I'll take a picture from the top down. I'll take a picture on the palm side so you can see the lacing pattern here, and I'll also flip it over and take a picture of the thumb side so you can see the lacing pattern, usually from get the whole thing if you can, so you can see how it enters the T-web, where it comes out, and then how it goes around. So that's going to be your first shot. Your second shot is going to be right here at the base of the T-web, and it's going to be hard to see from this picture, but on this shot right here, I use my these little roller ball pens. This ink is if you make light marks on the glove, you can kind of wipe them right off. So I usually label where the base of the T gets laced, because that's always really important. And then here on the finger side, I think you can see it, I make little marks here on the binding to show where the T-web gets inserted into the glove, and then I'll take a top-down picture of that. I'll take a picture again of the palm side so you can see the lacing here on the tips of the fingers, and then again on the back side. And then the termination point is usually, I'm thinking it's right here. It's where it usually is. What I'll probably do is unlace it all the way down to here, leave this part inside for a little bit, and then once I have laced it and I get down to this point here, I will just kind of pull lace out of the hole, follow it with my new lace until it gets to a point where you tie it off. That's kind of the easiest way. And along the way too, you might also want to take some pictures of places where the backhand gets laced into the glove perimeter. It's usually again right here, and that's probably about it. Yep. So so take some pictures of that. All right, and then the second modification we're going to make is to help the glove close more easily, is we are going to make this lacing here just a little bit looser, not a ton. And the big thing we're going to do is we are going to modify the plastic here on the inside of the T-web. Now, this is kind of something you can do if you've gotten to the end of your rope, I would say. Although a little caveat: when I rebuilt myself my own catch glove, it's a modification I made right off the bat because I just prefer it. But there can be a little bit of a downside to it, and I can show you that. I can show you why that is a little bit later. But a lot of times with these catch gloves that are imported, the folks who lace them do it really, really tight. In fact, in this glove here, you can see it's laced so tight that it started to rip through the the finger side here, which is somewhat unusual on these Brian's gloves because there's already an extra piece of material here to prevent against that, but it's been laced really tight and maybe there was a small cut and it just kind of started to get a little bit worse. So we can make this a little more loose. You don't want to make it really loose because it needs to be snug enough to hold the glove together, but it also doesn't need to be cranked down really hard either because sometimes that hinders the closure. And then when we cut here, I'll show you in a little bit, but when we cut here, we're going to cut the plastic right at this point. So the way the glove is designed is it's got a solid piece of plastic that's right here. The end of one end is here, and then the other end is actually inside the glove. And here's why we're going to cut it. So when you've got the glove here and it's open, and we start to close the glove, you'll notice that the T-web here on this side, which is also plastic too, it's got a plastic piece that runs all the way into the fingers, it pushes in this direction. And as it pushes in this direction, it meets resistance from this piece because this is a solid piece that's angled the other way. So you've got two pieces that are kind of opposing each other, and you end up with a nice, once you get it broken in, with a nice crease here. But because of the resistance here, this can make it harder to close. And if you're a young goalie and you've done everything you can, right? You've done the keeps 33 method, which is to get the glove really wet, both on the inside and the outside, close it, wrap it in a towel, let it sit overnight or a little bit longer. You've done that a few times. I think Goalie Gear Nerd has a tutorial where he actually puts the glove in an oven, a convection oven, and will bake it for a little bit, and that works too. But I know goalies who have done both, right? They've done the Keeps 33, they've done the convection oven, they still can't get the glove to close as they want. This will help a little bit. I'm not saying that this is going to be the magic bullet, and once you do this, it's going to make the glove close so much more easily, 1,000 times more easily. It won't, but it will definitely help, and it's noticeably better once you do it. So all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started. I'm going to unlace the glove, kind of get it all prepped, and then I will show you the modification we do here, and then we'll lace it all back together again, and I will show you how it all turned out. All right, so as you can see, I've taken the T-web out of the glove, and just for fun and demonstration purposes, I've laced the glove back up exactly as I would have had the T-web been in it. So all the tension's the same, all the lacing holes are going to be the same, and I just wanted to show you this. Look how easy that is to close without the T-web. So that was kind of my aha moment when I realized that if we could just, or if I could just modify the T-web a little bit, it would make the glove so much more easy to close. That's like, there you go. I'm not even using my whole hand. It's a 60 degree break, and I can close it with 2 fingers. So, all right. So that was that. I'm going to get to the T-web now, and I will show you how to cut that plastic. Okay, so the plastic is out, and you can see that's where it was. The 2 holes line up right here, and it was actually designed to actually follow the curvature of the top of the thumb right there, but this little part still stuck inside the thumb, which was providing the resistance when the glove closed. So I took some measurements. This is about 7/16 or so. So I'm going to cut it right here. I have these metal snips that I got a while back. They're pretty good for cutting plastic. And I'm actually going to cut on the inside of the line right there so I can kind of keep away from that hole. Let's see. So great. Okay, so there it is here. And the thing you'll want to do now is this is pretty sharp, and even though there's, if you can see it here, inside the glove, Brian's has put some thicker, it's almost like a strap leather material here. So the sharper plastic shouldn't poke through the Gen Pro, but I always just like to take it and get some sandpaper and sand down the edges to make all the edges, like this edge here, round that off there, and the sides of that cut. I'm trying to smooth it out as much as possible because I just don't want it to tear through. Okay, there we go. And now what we'll do is we will reinsert it just like so. Might have to play with it a little bit to get it lined up with the holes in the middle. And then I will go ahead and lace this back into the glove, and then I'll show you how it closes after that. All right, we are all done with this project. As you can see, I've relaced the entire perimeter. We've relaced the pocket, and I've put everything back in. Obviously, the new plastic is back in here. I even fixed the little tears here on the side. I typically will just make a patch and sew it on here, but unfortunately, I don't have this same color of tan or camel or whatever Brian's calls it. And the client didn't want an ugly black patch. So the compromise we settled on was I have a piece of that nylon pant skins, and I put it on the back side to kind of reinforce the torn part and keep it from spreading. And then I just super glued the edges together. So that should hold it for quite a while, and it should be okay. But okay, moment of truth. So that definitely helps. I would say the glove closes 25% easier if I had to put a number on it. When I did open the glove up, I know it probably looks the same as it did when I first shot the video. And originally I thought that this plastic actually went farther into the fingers than it does. But this plastic is actually kind of cut right about at the binding there. So it doesn't push over as much as I thought it would. But this definitely helps. So the plastic is cut right there, and if it could, it would easily fold over like that. But just, you can feel the lack of resistance there and how the pocket change makes the glove close more easily. Now here's the one detriment that I will say comes with this type of modification, and that is typically the reason that the plastic would go inside the thumb is that keeps the pocket from collapsing when you get a puck that hits right at the top. If you have a modification like this, now what can happen is that can happen, and the glove can, you know, every once in a while it can bend in like that. Now, I did this modification to my glove, as I said, and I've been using it for about 2 years. I play twice a week, and I've maybe had this happen a total of 3 times. And that's just a guess. It rarely ever happens. But if that's a concern of yours, it's something to consider when making a modification like this. But it definitely helps. If you're a young goalie who's not taking like super hard shots and you really can't close the glove, this is really something to consider. So that's it. I think it turned out great. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section, and I will see you guys next time.